Hello, it's Chris Davison, and I want to show you another example of graphical trading using an EA as an assistant. And this time it's using something called a rejection box. Now imagine that you had a chart such as this one of the euro dollar, and you wanted to set a trade to trigger at some point that, let's say, if price came down to this level here and rejected it and went back up, it would trigger a trade. How could you do that without spending all the time sitting at your desk? Well, one way to do it is to use the rejection box assistance. So let's drag it onto the chart. We're going to set the lot size at 1. And what you get is a rectangular box, the rejection box, and a take profit line. I'll just move these to one side for a second. Now both of these graphical objects can be dragged and moved around. So if we thought, for example, that price might come down to this level, touch and reject it, and then go back up to, say, this trend line here, we can set up a trade to trade that exact way. Now if you look at here, if you look at this message, it says waiting for a buy trade. The entry level is basically a rejection of this box and a close back above this level. The stop loss will be touching this level here. So if we want to make the stop loss bigger, we just make the box a bit thicker. And the take profit once the trade is entered will be this line here. If we want to pause this, if we think, well, we're not too sure about this, simply by moving the take profit line so that it's no longer valid, we'll just pause the whole trade. Equally, if we thought, well, we're not sure whether that's going to happen, what we might get is a rejection from up here. What we can do is simply drag the box up here, the rejection box, move it across so that as long as the rejection happens before this time period here, which is you can see down the bottom, and we'll move the take profit again. We're going to think take profit rejection might happen back at this level. So now we've got a sell trade that's set, looking for price to come up, come into this area, be rejected, trigger the trade, go to this profit level. Once the trade's open, if we want to move the stop loss down, we simply just trail it, either move the box manually down or use one of the functions on MetaTrader to trail the trade. It's as simple as that. And by doing this, we can look for different rejection areas. So we might decide that actually this area here is a really good place for price to come back up at some point, retest it, and come back down again. And we think it might come all the way down to I don't know, this level here. We can simply set this trade up and leave it. It's not going to be triggered until price goes all the way up, rejects, and comes back. If price goes all the way up and goes through, a stop loss will be put in place. And by setting up charts with these kind of rejection boxes, looking for support and resistant areas that might be retested, you can basically leave a trade pending in the background. You can alter it as time goes by simply by moving these boxes around. And it gives you a lot more flexibility in the way you trade. Thank you for listening.